Everybody, this is Russ Matthews from Reel Dialogue and the Watchlist. I am thrilled today to be able to talk with Alex and Stephen Kendrick. Now, you might know these brothers from their films Fireproof, Courageous, as well as War Room and Overcomer. They're ones worthwhile seeing, but we're going to be talking today about their newest film called The Forge. So The Forge hits cinemas this coming week, and I hope you get out to see this great film about mentorship and discipleship. I'll come back at the end of the interview to talk to you about how you can specifically get along to see this. And right from the get-go, one of our listeners was asking how you kind of pick the themes of your films, because you obviously have very specific themes. So what inspired you to kind of jump into looking at mentorship and discipleship as a theme?
Great question. After we did War Room and Overcomer and Lifemark, we were asking the Lord, what direction do you want us to go? And he put very clearly discipleship on our hearts and began nudging us in that direction, if I could say that. Right. And so we dove into it, believing that we were fully followers of Jesus Christ, and we were convicted prepping the movie and realized that there were some things we needed to adjust in our own walks with the Lord. So writing the movie was hard and convicting, but at the same time, we believed the Lord was in it. And so we cast it, have a wonderful cast. Many of the characters are from War Room because it takes place in the same world. But it just came together so well. And we're very grateful for the film and the early reviews of The Forge. People come away inspired. They come away challenged and ready to watch it a second time. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and also probably the sword purchases will go up around the world. Hopefully we'll see that. Right. And because that's actually, you bring up a really great point, Alex, is one of the other questions someone else asked, was this meant to be a springboard intentionally off of War Room, or was that something that just kind of came along in your creative process?
Alex already had the idea of discipleship and Priscilla Shirer playing the single mom. And right. I was watching War Room with my family. I hadn't seen it in years. I just decided to throw it in. And I'm watching Elizabeth Jordan in War Room. She keeps having conversations with her sister that we never meet. And she's saying, we're praying for you. I know where you're struggling, what's happening to your husband, all that kind of stuff. And at the end of War Room, she says, I'm going to start meeting with Cynthia and helping her in her walk with the Lord. And Miss Clara says, go pour into other women. So I told Alex, I said, what if we were to join these two ideas together and we let Priscilla play twins?
I know, that's so awesome.
Interact. And Alex talked to Priscilla. She got really excited about it. And so the movies fit beautifully together. Miss Clara being a part of this as well. And then Tony from War Room being a part of the Forge Men. So it was a lot of fun, and the momentum and excitement that people already have from War Room to be able to see these characters come back has been a joy.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, that was actually the funny thing, because we did get to see the screening. Our team loved it. Also, those that we brought along from our church really enjoyed it, as well as our pastor. So we're looking forward to kind of promoting it more across Australia. But that was one of the things that the team did straight after they go on to IMDb. Does she have a twin? Does she have an actual twin? Right. So they were trying to find that out. I'm like, well, no, I'm pretty sure that that's not. But it was really great. I think it's just a great way to kind of connect the worlds. It wasn't necessarily a direct sequel, but I think it was a great way to also introduce some beloved characters for probably, I think, is the #1 Christian film in Australia was War Room. So I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing how people respond to The Forge. So now from the watch list and Reel Dialogue, one of the things we do is we put film through the lens of faith. And the thing we love about you guys is there's a couple of things I want to ask you about, specifically why use film as a means of kind of projecting and communicating the message of the Bible? I mean, what is it about film that just kind of grabs people? I'd love to know, what was it that you really got started with?
Well, all of us love a good story. And as you know, Jesus told parables, and he would engage people with story and then share truth. And so that's one method we can use today. Hollywood does it for entertainment reasons. And we're thinking, yeah, but if you can grab the heart, get them thinking and walking out the door wanting a closer walk with God, wanting to get right with God, and embrace truth. That's wonderful. So though we do want to entertain people, the higher priority is actually the lasting impact of these movies and the messages that they can present. So we love the format of doing films and stories, and we're so grateful. You know, there's a lot of people that will go to the movie theater with a friend to see a movie like this, but feel less encouraged to walk into a church building. And
Right,
so
exactly.
we love our churches, but movie theaters can be an avenue for ministry. And so that's why we want to make movies like this. And we want to encourage other people to do it too. And matter of fact, Stephen and I love it, pouring into the next generation, hoping that more filmmakers will say, I want to honor the Lord with excellent movies.
That's excellent. That's a great choice. I mean, Stephen, I didn't know if you wanted to answer that question too, or is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Well, we were impacted by movies when we were growing up. I remember watching Billy Graham's The Cross and the Switchblade and being so moved by that movie, thinking I never want to do heroin drugs in my lifetime after seeing that movie. My wife was an atheist, and she began to believe in God after seeing a movie in the theaters. And so God was prepping us for this. But in Scripture, if you think about it, when Daniel saw a vision, or in the book of Revelation, God is giving them a revelation. What are they experiencing? They're seeing as if a movie. They're hearing the singing, the voices, the sound, the prophecies. They're moved deeply by that experience. It's forever etched on their minds. They're not only, moved emotionally or weeping, but they're walking out changed and leading people to God as a result of what they've seen. And so we have the technology nowadays to take stories to that next level and give the visual art, the musical composing, all this, the score sounds, all those things interwoven together with character development. But let's do it in a way that, like Jesus did, we're communicating heaven's truth in an earthly context. And when people hear the word of God, it doesn't return void. So for us to be able to speak the language of this generation in film and lead them to Christ, to the gospel, or to help their marriage, help their parenting, all those things, we have seen incredible results around the world. These movies are going to places we can't go. They're going to communist countries. They're going to Muslim-only countries, and people are hearing the gospel and coming to Christ as a result. So they've also been tools the churches have been using, either for evangelism or for discipleship. So one of my favorite stories was a man contacted us from China. He said, I won my next door neighbor to Christ using a bootleg black market $1 copy of Fireproof that I bought on the street corner. And I'm like, more power to you, man.
There you go. Condoning bootlegs. Okay, there we go. Yeah, definitely. Well, but this kind of jumping onto the whole kind of growing that next generation, because this really kind of comes from your film, also the discipleship, mentoring. Because one of the things that you guys have done as brothers, as well as like the Irwin brothers, is really kind of lifting the quality. It's not even just the message, because I don't ever fault the message of most of the films within the Christian genre, but really the quality of the content is just phenomenal. And that's one of the things we really kind of lean into. What are you doing to kind of invest in the future? Because I mean, we do want more of these films. We do want the quality of films, and you're seeing it in certain studios. But have you done anything specifically to kind of invest in the future of filmmaking, specifically in the Christian genre?
All right, two things that we're doing exactly right now. One is we're investing in the Christian Worldview Film Festival. That is a film festival that with a guild at the beginning. The first several days, we'll invite literally 1,000 young filmmakers to come meet with us, and we speak to them, share with them. We get other really excellent filmmakers in various areas, lighting and audio and special effects and editing and all of those. And we spend a week with them, pouring into them, praying with them, and then doing a festival at the end of the week. The other thing we're doing is Stephen and I, less than a year ago, purchased a large warehouse building that we're in the process right now of converting into studio space for ongoing productions and even television episodic programs that honor the Lord. So the income that's coming in, we're saying, how can we do exactly what you're saying? How can we build a platform for not just us, but for others that want to honor the Lord with projects like this, to come shoot them in a space prepared for projects like this. So we're very excited about both of those.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, that gets me excited, and it's something we really want to hopefully invest in. And also, please keep us up to date on how we can really support something like this, because we'd really love to be able to do that. Now, for the sake of our time, I do want to make sure we get to, I had two questions I'll probably finish with in our time together. One is, this is a question from one of our listeners, so I'll give you that, is that they want to know if you're Stephen McQueen fans, because of the investment of the Mustang being at the center of the film, and then making sure that the Mustang, it's not a promise to those becoming Christians that we all get a refurbed Mustang, but man, that car is beautiful. But we're just kind of curious about that.
Yeah, we have a man in our church actually who is a servant-hearted, humble, behind-the-scenes guy, and he was renovating that Mustang for years. And Alex was talking about the Mustang representing Isaiah's heart and life. That he starts off a disaster, hurt and abandoned by his father, and you see out of the grace of God how he is growing into Christ-likeness. So it's funny to us that women cry in the scenes with the praying mama, her response, but men cry when he gets the Mustang. And it's hilarious to us just because men resonate with that. But
they do.
The theme of transformation that comes through the gospel, is communicated in the Forge. And really, discipleship brings further transformation because we grow rapidly when we're in those tight, close relationships and in those Forge kind of environment where iron is sharpening iron.
Love it. Thank you so much for that. It was a fun question, but also you just made it just help it to resonate and understand true kind of why it's a part of the story. And I think that it's a great part. So thank you for that. I'm going to finish just for the sake of our time. What would you want to be able to say to Australian audiences? This is a film obviously made in America with a kind of American background, but what would you want to say to Australian audiences, what they should do and why they should get out to see The Forge?
Well, you'll see this demonstrated in the plot of the movie when you watch The Forge, but Jesus both presented truth to the masses as well as pouring in to the 12 disciples. And in that relationship where he's investing in the 12 disciples, he walked with them, ate with them, conversed with them, did ministry with them, rebuked them at times, encouraged them, and sent them out 2 by 2 to minister. And so what we want churches to do all over the world that know Jesus Christ is to say, yes, we need pastors presenting truth from the pulpit. Yes. But we've got to have those small discipleship groups where you can grow more intimate in relationship, in trust, in accountability, and then pouring into the next generation. We have to go after the next generation. So Stephen and I are very aware that the current culture is going after the hearts and minds and belief systems of our young people, especially at the college level. What is the church doing to go after those people as well? Because whoever wants the next generation the most is going to get them. So we've got to want them. We've got to go after them. And we need to be able to say, hey, follow me as I follow Christ. So discipleship now is needed in our churches and in our communities more than ever.
Fantastic. Great. Well, I know we're at the end of our time. I just want to say thank you. Please know we'll be praying for you and also for The Forge to really capture the hearts of people around the world, especially for a father and also a grandfather of son and grandsons. This is definitely a one that resonates with me. So I really hope that it goes well. Thank you from the team at the Watchlist and Reel Dialogue for being a part of this today and being on our show.
Thank you so much. Good to meet you.
God bless you.
Cheers. Well, thanks so much, Alex and Stephen. What a great conversation on the Watchlist and Reel Dialogue. We are thrilled for the film to be arriving in cinemas on the 29th of August. If you'd like to find out how to find tickets in your local area, just go to faithmedia.com.au. That's faithmedia.com.au. And make sure you go through and check out the different sharing tools that come along with the Forge sharing tools. Also, the Heart of the Forge on YouTube. And you'll be able to also go through and check out the Kendricks Brothers Legacy website. So we want to say thanks once again to the Kendrick brothers and for the upcoming release of The Forge. This is Russ Matthews with the Watchlist and Reel Dialogue, where we take film through the lens of faith. We'll see you at the movies.